are sometimes we don't even realize we're extending an invitation for conflict, right? When we say, this is my point of view, well, somebody is going to respond with, this is my point of view. Of course they are. Of course they are. Have you been on Facebook? Right? Very rarely do people go, love, honor, and respect you. Totally agree with you. Because what they want, there is in the forum, in the format of it, it's designed to be, this is my position, this is my position, my idea, my thing, and it's designed that way. It is not it is impossible to have a conversation. Even this is a faulty conversation because you guys can't go, I can't tell, are you going yes or Nea and rolling your eyes at me? I have no idea. I mean, you could put it in the comments. You could decide to throw an eye roll in there, and I would be like, "Hey, cool, an eye roll." And then in my brain, I'd be going, "I wonder what the eye roll meant. Did it mean like are they responding to me like, yeah, ha ha ha, eye roll, or no, really, I'm rolling my eyes at you, Nia." Like that's what we're in. That's what we're in. We're in conversations that are not technically conversations. What we are doing is we are blurting all day long. And we are bombarded by other people's blurts all day long. And we take them as though we understand, and we don't. We don't. We don't really understand people, right? And we think we do. We're walking in this energy of I totally get it. And the truth is, I think I would guess with the vast majority of people that I know anyway, that if we were all sitting down and having a conversation around a fire or around a table, if we could actually do that again, if we could all be in community and sit down and go, actually, I don't agree with you. This is how this has meant something to me, and this is how I interpret that to me. And what would happen is that we could go, oh, I didn't think of it that way. Or, well, I still don't agree with you, but I can respect your position. And that's because what we do is we communicate more than words. Words themselves are not enough communication. That is really what news is for, to be honest with you. It's to provide data, to provide information. But me communicating with you is more than just here's the information, here's the data points. It's you get my emotional state, maybe you might get a story that gives you insight into my psyche, into my background as to what led me to this, to this position or to this ideation, or what has been true. And what it does is it opens something in us to be able to connect, to be able to be more open and porous. And what's so funny is this thing called Facebook, which was all about friends, right? Friends, like who are my friends? We have boiled that down to transactional. Likes. Do I like it? Do I not like it? Is it this? Is it that? Everything's transactional. And we wonder why we're running on empty, or why we're frustrated, or why we're exhausted. Life isn't transactional. Like real life, IRL, right? Like it's not transactional. It is exponential. And the possibilities are exponential. And what happens, like I've been seeing more and more people talking about how they are experiencing depression, they're experiencing isolation, they're experiencing deep, deep, deep frustration, despair, and hopelessness in regards to their lives and the lives of all the people around them. And I just think, wow, what is that? What is that? And everything is not transactional. And it's like we have to choose. We are going to have to consciously make a choice. how we want to be, who we want to be, and how we want to engage and where we put our energy. I've been on a bit of a Facebook diet. I'll say I'm on Facebook light, right? I used to be on, I was noticing that I was scrolling a lot in my downtime. And what I realized is I was needing something. What I was needing was like engagement distraction, distracted engagement with something. Like I wanted to be into something. I wanted to know something. I wanted to and ready for an argument, ready for a and I'm like, you know what? That's not doing me any good. It's not that I can't know who I am and know what I believe in and honor that. I just don't need to steamroll the world about it. I don't need to be righter than you, especially when I don't really know what you what is going on with you and you don't know what's really going on with me and why I feel the way I do. Maybe I have a bit more information about something. Maybe you have a life experience that is framing your position. And honestly, the only way for transformation is for us to have that conversation, and it isn't going to happen on Facebook. Has anybody had any experience on Facebook that has been like, yeah, this is great. I'm finding that I am having influence on other people to open their minds and in these conversations. I'm just going to guess that probably not. I'm going to guess that the vast majority of your interactions with others, not saying everybody, I have some amazing interactions. I have a lot of amazing interactions with all of you. But I would guess the vast majority of the things that you put time and energy trying to shape the perfect conversation, trying to get the right words, trying to get your position right, it falls kind of flat because there's no amount of words to capture your soul, to capture your heart, to capture your wisdom, your deep love for your fellow human. And even your despair and anger with your fellow humans, which is okay too. I mean, it's okay to be angry. It's just not okay to build a house on that level of anger. You know, we go, "Oh, I'm feeling angry right now. Feeling disappointed right now." Building a world on that foundation is you're going to just get more of the same. But to disregard the experience is to say you are not worthy of the experiences you are having. And that's to dismiss yourself, which is to then disregard everyone because we are one, right? It's to disregard God. It's to disregard the divine that we are. It's a really interesting experience when we really start to play it out. When we start to think about where we're putting our energy or what we're holding in belief. And it doesn't mean we disregard it. We don't disregard the horrors that are happening in the world. We look at them through a lens of wholeness and we say, okay, what is going on here and what can I do from this place? Me going into despair to lose my sense of wholeness does not uplift anyone, right? And what's very interesting is I think we're finding this out a little bit in the conversations around race in this country. The women that I've talked with, African American women, Asian women, Native American women, I've had many, many, many conversations over the last couple of months. And they don't want me to be less than I am. They want me to acknowledge that they are just the same, that I can uplift. I do not have to lessen myself to uplift another. That does no one any good. But it does mean that I have to sometimes curb my ability to just jump in and take over. I have to become aware of what I'm doing in the world. Aware of if I have power and clarity and energy and that I am using it in a way that is uplifting for all. instead of just for me. Do I look good? Do I feel good? Am I uncomfortable? Yeah. So what? So what? Do it anyway. Do the right thing anyway. And by the right thing, do the best that we can do. And when we learn to do better, we're willing to do better. I have not heard, shut up. Who the hell do you think you are? Get back in your house. I have not heard this. I have not heard this from my friends. They're saying, thank you. Thank you for being willing to learn. Thank you for talking to me. Thank you for hearing me. Thank you for your willingness to learn, to change, to influence where you can. They don't want and I'm saying the women that I'm talking with, I can't say for all, for me to be less than I am. And so as I'm talking about, like, we have the ability to learn how to do this. And it's all kind of happening right now. Spirituality isn't just woo, positivity and feel good. It isn't. It is not. And if this is where we kind of landing, if this is what our focus is, we are missing it. We are bypassing our own experience. If we can't be uncomfortable, if we think we can hold the world at bay because we're too sensitive or because we can judge the world because they're too stupid, we're not doing anyone any good, because we're forgetting who we are. And we're forgetting that we are continually working in the energy and in the vibration of the universal law, of supply. That as I ask, so I shall receive. So what am I asking? Am I asking, why can't people get it together? Or am I asking, what is it that I need to see today so that I can uplift and uphold the highest good in myself and in others? This is the work. This is the work. This is the work. This is the work. And I think it's very easy to forget. And I forget. And yesterday I had a really good example of this. So I was ticked off. My internet's been bad. So anyway, I was on online chat and I got dropped. No surprise, right? And so I went back on online chat, and the second person that I got was like, I can't help you. You're on this kind of a plan. And I was like, what? I've always used online chat. And they wouldn't look again at my account. I'm like, I think you made a mistake because this can't be right. Anyway, they completely shut me out. So then I had to wait on hold to call care support. And by this time, I'm like, I'm irritated. Nea. They clearly don't know who I am. You guys know I'm being funny. But like, that's the thing that rises up in me. My righteousness rises up, my frustration, my irritation that people can't get it together. So then I get on and there's this nice woman on the other line. I said, what is going on? Is there something wrong with my account that they couldn't help me on online chat? I was already halfway through with this. And she's like, I have no idea. I have no connection to that team. And I'm like, yeah, but you know what? You guys really should. And I'm like, I am driving it because I'm on my high horse. Anybody know what I'm talking about? And I'm on that, and I'm just agitated. And she's being as sweet as she can be. And I'm catching myself. Okay. All right, what can we do? And then she says, well, let's troubleshoot. We did some troubleshoot. Oh, it's a line issue. It's not a modem issue. That would have been easy, right? Nope, it's a line issue, which means a tech has to come out. Oh, tech can't come out till Monday. And I was like, Monday? I'm running a business and like, I'm just irritated. And I'm like, is there nothing that I can do to get this sooner? Or blah, this is terrible service. And I'm pissed. And the truth is, I wasn't honoring the fact that, like, what was going on with me is I was disappointed. I was just disappointed and frustrated. And instead of just pausing and checking in and going, okay, what do I want in this situation? How do I want to handle this? Who do I want to be? I didn't do that. I do that. I did not do that. I was on a roll. And I got off the call and I didn't get anything that I wanted. I have to wait till Monday. Sometime in an 8-hour window, they're going to be here. And I was like, "Wah, wah, 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 wah," you know, probably going to show up right at my meditation and rah, rah, rah. So I was just, and I went for a walk. And what's really interesting is I'm a little ways away, and this little voice in my head is like, that didn't go very well now, did it? What could you have chosen instead? And it was like I was just brought right into this place of, it's not about what's happening. It's not about the conditions of my life. It's not about the internet. It's not about my clients. I love you all. It's not about you. It's not about that. This is just today what is in front of me to do. I had a problem. I got the help that I needed. I have somebody coming to fix it. And all of a sudden this idea came and said, "Well, why don't you rearrange your schedule a little bit, clear up some things that you've got, move people to phone calls, that'll work." I'm like, "Yeah, that'll work." Like really calm. And and then this other voice said, "You've been really looking for some time to really do a couple of things that require your attention, like not to be distracted for blocks of time." I'm like, "Yeah. Did you see the gift in all this, Nia?" Hmm. I was not seeing the gift in all this. I got what I actually asked for. I just didn't like the packaging it came in. And that's kind of like what is going on all the time right now. And I'm grateful that I have an inner compass and a practice that brings me back when I'm off the rails. And how do we get to that? You know, the meditation helps us. It helps us access our inner wisdom, and really it is like the technology that allows us to feel who we are and experience our wholeness, our holiness, the fullness in our being, the truth of us that lacks nothing, that lives in a world that is lacking nothing, that everything is divine and perfect, and we can access that, we can feel it, and then we come back and life happens. Wah, wah, and now where did all that go? Oh, that's just what I do at noon, right? And so it's about, how do we bring this into our daily practice? How do we bring this into a daily minute to minute point that we're accessing? And we all do it sometimes. But one of the things that I'm realizing is sometimes really isn't enough. And I'm not, what I mean by that is that the world is happening so fast that we kind of can compartmentalize our life and go, well, with my kids, I'm fine. And here I'm fine. And work, yeah. But how much of where in your life, just take a moment as we're going through this today. I really want you to take a moment and think, where in your life are you feeling constricted, limited, uncertain? Just pick one area. Where do you feel the most doubtful about yourself, the most where you're lacking the capability? And I want you to just bring that forward today as we're breathing. We're going to use that today and really breathe into that, and feel what is available to us. If you're willing. So I'm going to invite you all. We have 3 minutes before we're going to get started. I'm going to invite you all to just put down that area of your life. It could be, you can be as specific as you want to be. You can say work. It's with launching my new website. It's um, with facing my relationship with my husband or my kids or my friend. I am going to invite you to type that in. So we are breathing with each other, that we are holding this space, and you know you're not alone. But write it down. Every single one of you. Elaine, Angela, Paula, Gail, you're driving, so don't do this. Melissa, Kathy, Linda, Brianna, Caitlin, and anybody else who's on, I'm going to invite you to type in, what is the area in your life right now? Because if you're not feeling some constriction, you and I need to talk, because you're superhuman. it is a very big challenge for human beings not to feel some level of constriction. It can be politics. It can be COVID. I'm freaking pissed. Last week that was me. I was just like, I'm done. It's okay. It doesn't have to be something that you have to fix. It's just something that is creating constraint or stress or uncertainty in your life. So I'm going to wait. We're not going to get started until I see some of these go in. That's how important this is. Listen to me. Don't I sound like a parent? That was my son. He told my husband, he goes, "You're not as effective as mom as at being a parent." He told my husband this. And she's like, "Why?" He goes, "You're just not very intimidating." So you gotta laugh. You just got clearly I'm very intimidating to my son. He said it's really since I was little. I think it's the big eyes that I give him that. So I'm gonna let you guys do this. So Brianna, launching a business similar to your call, getting frustrated when situations like that arrive. Great. Elaine, patience. Keep it coming. Guys, I love it. I love it. Patience for incoming grandkids and kids from California tonight for 10 days. Wow. That you watch. I need breath today. All right, we're going to breathe with you. And I love that. Grandparenting, that's a bigger deal than parenting because we just get to bark orders. Grandparents, that can be challenging. So business. All right. Let's breathe into this. We're going to breathe into this today. So I know a couple more of you are on, so I'm going to wait another minute. We're going to get you guys to really lay claim to this. All right, Melissa, feeling constrained with one of my adult kiddos. They know everything. Oh my gosh, I've got a few more of those people that I know too. I know. Relationship. All right. Awesome. Sherry, business is my challenge. Okay. Okay. So we're gonna utilize this technology in a very pointed way today. And we're going to just use our breath and feel it, and we're going to be in the present moment. I want you to let go of what everything needs to look like as we go through this, because that's usually at the apex of our challenge, right? Is that we can't imagine it, so we just shut down, or we get overwhelmed, so we shut down. Okay. All right, using this pause time more efficiently. Don't worry about what all the kids are doing for the fall, right? So worrying. Can I call it that, Kathy? Like worrying about everyone else, right? And what's going to happen in the world, right? All right. Because there's a lot. There's a lot going on. All right. Well, let's go ahead and breathe and carry your house. Okay. Let's go ahead and just take some deep breaths. And thanks for hanging with me on this today, you guys. We are moving into some more practical application, and we are moving into, and we have to. We absolutely have to right now, because with the way things are rapidly changing in the consciousness of humanity, we're breathing it in. We're breathing in change, right? We're breathing in spaciousness. That means things are going to move. Well, if we don't have good foundations and good practices, we're going to be all over the place, inefficient, frustrated, annoyed, doubtful, and that's not adding to what we really want. So, all right, let's go ahead. Take a couple of deep breaths, just coming into this present moment. Giving yourself a moment to just be here in this now moment. And let us imagine just breathing in light, in this infinite field of light that is all around us. Feeling it move into our body, every cell opening to receive this infinite abundance of light and love and appreciation for all that we are, all that is. And we breathe. Every breath flowing into our body, energizing, clearing. And on the exhale, we just relax into this vibration, feeling more present, more here in this now moment. Allowing ourselves to just be. As we breathe in, we follow the breath in to the depths of our being, falling away from our thoughts and emotions, letting them be as we fall into a nice, quiet, still place. Breathing into the stillness, allowing our full awareness to come to this present moment. And in this quiet place, noticing how small we feel and how infinitely expanded we feel. It is a space of both and, our paradox of being here in this now moment and having access to everything, present and infinite. And we breathe into this experience, allowing ourselves to relax and to be, acclimating. And if your thoughts or worries, emotions start to creep in, just take a deep breath and imagine yourself falling even farther away from those thoughts. It's okay that they are doing what they do. As we breathe in, let us breathe in and allow ourselves to fall even farther away from those thoughts. Gently, softly, floating into stillness. Floating in the in-between. It is here that we have our connection with Spirit, with God, with the universe, with the infinite. And where we feel the flow of infinite moving in and through us. Boundless, limitless. We breathe. We bring into our consciousness gently our questions, our concerns. And let's imagine that we are writing the concerns on the side of a paper lantern. It could be a drawing, it could be an image, it could be an idea that you just fill into the lantern however it works for you. All of your questions, your concerns. And let's imagine lighting the little candle that fills the lantern with hot air. And we watch it float away. We let it go, knowing that there is nothing that we can ask that there is not an answer for. And we let it go with joy and grace and trust that we are in flow and in harmony with the infinite. That which we release comes back in a way that is in service for us to move forward, to move into what is next for us, what is awaiting us, what we are longing for. And we breathe. We feel our body, the divine nature of our being, of who we are, moving through our physical form, moving through our physical experience, everything working in divine order, everything whole and holy. As we move out into our energy field, we feel our vibration in resonance with that which is divine, that which breathed us into being. We resonate with what is whole and holy and infinite, and we breathe. We breathe and we allow. We allow our full expression of our entire being to be in alignment with this resonance. Open, porous to the world around us. Trusting that our resonance draws to us all that we need and allows anything that is less or diminishing of our being, of our vibration, of our holiness to move past without recognition. And we breathe, relaxing and trusting in all that we are. Bringing our attention beneath our feet to our connection with Mother Earth. A beautiful umbilical cord connecting us. And it has been there since before we were birthed into this world. She has loved us into being. Promise of a home, providing us atmosphere, ground, air, earth, water, all that is needed. Awakening and inviting us to our nature. We feel the warmth of her love rise up in and through us, always present, gently pulling us to her. This beloved gravity that gives us a sense of place and belonging, and a reminder that we are hers. And indeed, we are of her, and she is in us. We feel her love rise up in and through us, opening us, awakening our nature, awakening our place in and with all of nature in this home she has provided. We are with and among greatness, wholeness, holiness, and we breathe. And it is in this place of belonging, this deep knowing awakened in our vessel, that we bring our attention above our heads to our connection with the quantum field. We are open like a tulip to the sun, to the light, to the divine force that breathed us into being. We breathe. We feel this light, golden and crystalline, moving down into our vessel, and we breathe it into every part of us. Breathing fully, expanding, expanding our capacity to receive. And in the exhale, we relax and surrender all that we are to being consumed by this light. We breathe in, expand, and surrender to this vibration, this experience of being, allowing the light to move in to our full awareness and to be overcome by it. And we breathe and experience ourselves being breathed by the all that is, by the field of consciousness. We experience this, allowing, breathing, being. Within our vessel, we become aware of our crystalline structure, access to our innate power that follows and flows along our skeletal structure. This beautiful light, blue, iridescent color that moves in and along our bones, in and around our bones, amplifies all that we receive, all that we are, all of this God consciousness. It awakens all of our senses, our energy, our vibration, and we breathe. Continue to breathe the light into your being, feeling it amplify. There is no effort in this. It is simply innate in your vessel and awake in your vessel. Feeling the vibration of truth as it is vibrating in the very core of your being. Like a tuning fork that is struck, it moves and vibrates throughout every cell, every part of your vessel, that you may know truth beyond your mind, beyond your world. Truth is, you are, and you are awake to this. Your vessel open and vibrating in divine love, amplified, creative, awakening your creative vessel, open to receiving inspiration, ideation, direction. Open and willing. You are experiencing your wholeness, your holiness, your strength, your clarity, your willingness, your oneness with all. And as you breathe in your light, amplifying more than 10,000 suns into the consciousness of humanity, into all of the natural world, awake in harmony. Breathe and be. Acclimating to this awareness, to this experience, allowing it to filter through and amplify every cell of your being, every thought, every emotion, that you may come to know and trust and rely on your inner wisdom, this awakened state. Beloved breathers of light, vessels of love, allowing yourself to be awake in this now awareness of wholeness, holiness indeed. Your mind would say, who are you to be holy? What is it in you that believes this to be true? And here you are experiencing what is holiness, is truth, is light, is God. What study is there that would guide you to this except to be and to find your willingness? Who should say who you are? Certainly not your mind. It would look for books to tell you, history to guide you. And in this now moment, You are the ones moving forward in the light. You are willing to be beyond your knowing, beyond that which has been told to you, and awake to that which you have always known. Awake to you, dear ones. Awake to the God consciousness. And in this, to be of service, to choose to live in this vibration, this awakened state of being. It is not to sit on a mountaintop. It is not to hum chants 24 hours a day. It is to be softly conscious, vibrationally attuned, open to your fullness of being, and using your mind and your emotions rightly. We breathe with you. We honor you. We are trusting in the breath. It has been our way. It has been the way of coming into truth, truth of the divine. It allows a more direct contact that does not require the mind to manage, to understand, to shape, to hold, to explain. And the more that you come to see and understand the limitations of the mind, the more you will come willing to understand the limitlessness of being. Blessings to all, dear ones. We honor you and your light. There's a blessing going out to all of you, and those of you who will watch this at a different time. The way I am physically experiencing this is it seems to be coming right. It's like moving outward from my high heart, but across my shoulders and outward, and then coming back in simultaneously. And there is no pushing with this. It simply is. And I'm feeling this beautiful pressure and warmth right across here. And then it's huge and it's going beyond me, it's going outward. I'm curious to know if you are all experiencing this. And it is the interesting thing to share with all of you who may not be familiar with who I channel, the how. They do not push or heal or um, tell or dictate. They offer and guide and affirm. And the reason I say that is because this isn't being pushed. It's a blessing that you always have the choice to receive or not. And it is truly, it's not to fix you. It's to honor you and to honor and bless your beingness, your willingness, your openness, your light as children of God, as children of the Most High. And that's all. That's all of us. oh, it's just beautiful. Like and it feels now like it's moving down. I don't know if any of you are also feeling this. But as we open and we use this technique of letting go, of trusting, it's always in flow, and it is always in our highest good flowing back to us, right? And I've said this a few times for those of you who've taken classes with me, is that um, our Western culture really has glommed on to um, the universal law of attraction, because why, that just, you get your thoughts right and then it'll just come right, uh, it'll come to you. Um, and it's also a part, it's a very deep and profound part of the prosperity doctrine, prosperity gospel. And what's very interesting is, I think it's very hard to fully grasp the law of attraction unless you understand the law of supply and have worked with it and engaged with it, because that is, and it boils down to ask and it will be given. And how many of us really believe that? I mean, honestly, every day, are you working in that, or are you like, well, I got so much stuff to do. I don't know how to get there. I don't know what I'm doing. We build up a resistance to it, and it's kind of like, well, prove it, and then I'll believe it. Prove it, and then I'll believe it. And the reason I'm saying this is because what happens when we don't have that foundation in the law of supply, where we really have a faith in it, we really have come to understand it, what happens is that we move into the law of attraction, and it's like it turns into a game of how, like, my emotions and how I'm managing my emotions and making sure to get everything right. And it's all due to lack of trust, because we haven't built that trust that there's plenty, that when whatever it is we're attracting, we're not in this gamification of, oh, I better get my thoughts right, I better get it right. And so as we are doing this work, it's really, really, really important to really think about what's in your way, and do you believe in the law of supply? Ask and it is given. And my question is, are you asking, or are you assuming you have to get your ducks in a row first? Are you assuming you have to get it together, or you have to be right first? How about ask? Just ask. And it doesn't mean we stop and wait and put the brakes on everything, is that we just keep doing what we can, and suddenly things start coming into our lives. I have more, like, I can't even tell you the number of stories where I've worked with people and this has really been the practice. And so, for example, how many of you needed to be blessed today? Think about that. How many of you needed, like, really your entire vessel was like, oh, in receiving that blessing, right? You can be blessed every day. And you can also understand that you are a blessing every day. That can be your way of being. That is possible. And so I'm very honored to get to share this time with you. I'm very honored to um, get to do this work with you. And it's delightful and fun. And I'm also really delighted that the internet decided to work. So here we are. Um, and let me know, if you have questions. Um, One of the things that I had a friend about a month ago, I met her, well, virtually for coffee. Maybe, yeah, it was about a month ago. And she said, Nia, I really want you to create something. And I remember sitting there thinking, I don't know if I want to, what she's asking for. I don't know. I don't know if I want to do that. Now, this is like the fourth time this has happened to me where somebody will ask me, and then all of a sudden, like I'll just sit with it. It just sits in the back. It's like an invitation, and it sits kind of in the back here. And then all of a sudden, something clicks or a way to do it in a way that is completely in alignment shows up. And I was like, and something I would love. And sometimes what I do when that happens is I get overwhelmed. Anybody have that? Where you get overwhelmed and you go, oh, I can't possibly, I don't have time. I don't know what to do. And all of a sudden today that happened to me. And I I had the time. I had the time. And now, because if you were here for the early part of the conversation, with the internet situation, the fact that I have to move some of my things around and maybe not book as many clients, like I cleared my calendar to not be able to book anybody else until Tuesday. Um, I now have the time to kind of frame it up and to play and to not be like, I got to get this done or I've got to put it off. And so there, this is what it is to be in that vibration, that nothing is wasted. Nothing is wasted. Nothing is wasted. If I ask, I receive. I've been asking for like a month, how do I get more time? I'm getting more time. How do I build my business? I'm building my business, right? New ways are showing up and I'm doing it in ways that I love. This can be true of you too. So just sit with that. Sit in that vibration, sit in that place of, am I willing to ask? What is holding me back from asking? And what if I do it anyway? Right? What if I just ask anyway? Let's play in it.